Hello and welcome to Geronimo Reader. Today we'll be reading Geronimo Secret Agent. Keep in mind that we won't cover the whole book in the video. This splits up into parts. Let's go to the page, shall we? A suspicious looking rodent. That morning was just like any other morning. I woke up and smelled the cheese hot cheddar. That is, I like to make a whole pot every day. Now I stuffed my paws into my comfy cat fur slippers. I shuffled to the window to check the weather. The forecast was for rain, but when I looked outside, I just saw lots of clouds, and a very suspicious looking rodent with dark sunglasses across the street. How odd. I took the shower and gulped down my breakfast, melted cheddar toast. Yum! Then I headed for the subway. I was humming one of my favorite love songs, Baby I Beauty, when I saw him again. That same suspicious looking rodent with the sunglasses was walking right behind me. How strange. A few minutes later, I arrived at my stop. I scrubbed out the door. Guess who was round my tail? You got it, Mr. Dark Sunglasses. How very odd. At last, I reached my office at 17 Swiss Cheese Place. I couldn't believe it. Mr. Sunglasses had beaten me there. I was starting to get a little creeped out. A chill ran out my fur. What did he want from me? Well, why was he following me? Probably was afraid to find out. What if he misquoted me for a escaped comrade? What if I reminded me of someone he didn't like? What if he hated my tie? I decided there was one thing left to do. I raced up the stairs to my office and slammed the door. Then I buried my snout in work. But when I looked out the window at lunchtime, guess who I saw? Yep, it was that mouse again. He was 3 when I left my office. He was there when I reached my house. He was there after I scooped down a super-sized 3-cheese pizza for dinner. I better say there for this one. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I just had to find out who that mouse was. With a squawk, I yanked the door open to my house. Then I snuck out my snout and yelled, "Who are you and why do you want from me?" Don't you recognize me? Next chapter. Even though I was screaming at the top of my lungs, the rodent barely flinched. Instantly, he calmly took off his glasses and smiled. Oh, was it a smirk? How strange! The rodent looked so familiar. Was it a trench coat? Was it the paws in the pockets? Was it the perfectly groomed fur? I touched the paw to my own head. My fur's getting a little long. I made a mental note to make a point at the clip out to my other spar. I was still thinking about fur cuts when the rodent suddenly tapped me on the forehead. I stared into my eyes. Geez, was it going to hypnotize me? I gulped. I read about a bad nights like this. First they put you under a spell, then they bring it to your mouth, then they steal all your money. The rodent banded eyes seemed to drill right into me. I was so nervous I could barely see straight. I would try practicing the deep breathing techniques I learned from Penny Prezzo's Pond's yoga class. They didn't work. I guess I wasn't paying enough to pay attention in class. Just then, the rodent leaned in closer. I broke out a cold sigh. This is it. I mumbled myself, "Goodbye, mouse word." But instead of hypnotizing me, the rodent smirked. Don't you recognize me, Geronimo? And that's it for today. Please keep an eye for next part. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications for the bell. Thank you for listening and watching this story with me.